What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of What the Elle. I'm your host, Elle Kramer, and today I'm getting real with you guys, and I'm talking about the opinions of others and struggling to get over those because that is something my whole life I have struggled with, and I'm still working on it. Like, how do you get over other people's opinions? But for the longest time, I felt afraid to make a podcast episode with no makeup on because I was afraid of the opinions of others. Like, what if I wasn't enough? What if my complexion wasn't enough for people? Like, all of my irrational thoughts in my head would just manifest whenever I start filming. Whenever I sit in front of a camera, I'm always feeling a little bit more anxious because I never wanted to do a video podcast in the first place. I only wanted this to be my voice. I wanted people to just hear me and just see me through my voice. But I know it's wait, you will gain a wider audience if you record it. So I know it was silly to even try to do just a audio only podcast, because if you are serious about wanting to grow your podcast or like growing content in general, you should video it, because otherwise you're just going to be posting the audio versions of it, and that's not going to go, that's less likely to go viral, that's less likely to do good on social media. But I mean, there's still a chance. And so with that, this is my first episode ever, me doing no makeup, which is like, this is what, my 37th episode? Is it my 37th episode? That's crazy. My 37th episode, and I'm just now finally able to not wear makeup. Like, what was holding me back that whole time? The opinions of other people, and it was the fear of being um disapproved or not measuring up to beauty standards or whatever it may be, like just not measuring up. And I know deep down like that I'm worth it and that I'm beautiful, but I'm also a very sensitive individual, and so putting myself out here on social media like this is a very big change for me, because like, yes, I do like to post on social media, like I like to take pictures, I enjoy all of that, but I mean, I curate that myself, like I'm in control of that, and like the people who comment like are my friends. But now that I'm like doing a whole other thing, like a whole podcast, like that kind of puts me at the opinions of millions of people. If I make it to millions, like hopefully one day, the thing is, doing this, like you are opening yourself up to the opinions of the internet. And I know the internet is not very not always the nicest. Sometimes they're very unforgiving. There's lots of internet trolls and stuff, and I've experienced that within my own life. But I just never wanted to have to go through that, like put myself out there on the internet, because I have been cyberbullied before, have called names on the internet before. Like in fourth grade, was two of my really good friends like created this Instagram account about me, and just said a bunch of weird things, and I was like scarred from that. So I was like, there's no way that I can show my face on the internet ever again after that. But of course I did. I mean, that was in fourth grade. But whenever that happened, that was like a huge moment for me that I felt like really closed me off to wanting to put myself out there again. And after that point, it felt kind of like a real choice that I had to make. Like if I wanted to, I've always wanted to like grow on social media and like travel the world and do that thing, but I'm always like, am I that person who's supposed to do that? I always have felt this huge imposter syndrome, like it shouldn't be me. It shouldn't be me who's doing it. Like it should be somebody else. Like I'm not worthy of it. I felt like I wasn't worthy to do what I'm doing because I'm Elle Kramer. I'm not Selena Gomez. I'm not Steph Curry. I'm not Michael Jordan. I'm not any of these people who I thought they deserved it. I just never thought I deserved it. Like I never thought I deserved to create the opportunities for myself that I wanted, because I felt like the opinions of other people would tell me not to. And I'm here to tell you that you should do the things that you want to do, just because other people might not tell you to. Like, and the people who do hate on you, like if you do have haters on social media, like those are literally just trolls who have nothing to do with their lives, who are just trying to make you feel, just projecting. They're literally just projecting their insecurities onto you. And so don't take what they say seriously, because I mean, much easier said than done, because it is kind of like hard to see things on social media sometimes whenever, I mean, but don't get me wrong, there's so many comments that are so positive and like uplifting, but sometimes those like middle-aged men just don't know what they're trying to say. Like they just be making judgments about me, and that's fine. Like let them. And that's the whole thing. That's a whole other topic. Like Mel Robbins, the Let Them the let them theory, you should let them. If somebody is going to cast judgments upon you, you should let them because maybe they need it more than you do. And like the ultimate goal is to not take any of these things that people say personally. But that is something that I'm also working on. It is not easy to do, but it comes with time. Opinions are the hardest thing to get over. Like even looking at my face, like my opinion is like the opinion that I feel like holds me back the most. Not even anyone, like not even the internet trolls, like no one holds me back more than myself. And I feel like that is a lot of people can relate to that. And what is your opinion of yourself? Like, what do you see yourself as? Like, I see myself as somebody who deserves this, somebody who's strong and somebody who has been through a lot. And I just love everyone and want to give my whole heart to everyone, but at the same time like I have to be mindful that I also have to give back to myself. And I think sometimes I used to get caught in the crossfire of that, like wanting to give to other people but also trying to give too much of myself whenever I wasn't even putting any love into myself. And I'm not here to say that like it's so easy to get over other people's opinions because it's not. I am working on it. Like getting over my own opinion of myself is probably the thing that I will be working on for the longest in my life because I feel like I allowed people to shape my view of myself in my formational years because yeah, like my first boyfriend, like we just weren't good for each other and he made me feel like shit and those other girls made me feel like shit. I just felt like I let people make me feel like shit and I know other people can relate to that and it wasn't a good feeling and I let that be my identity for a long time like that. Like I felt sorry for myself. Like it's good to feel sorry for yourself. Like it's good to be sad about those things for a little bit, but like let yourself feel those emotions and then move out of it because it's not helping you. It's just bringing you further down and you want to be in a good place. And how can you get to a good place? How are you going to let other people tell you who you are whenever they don't even know who they are? Like they don't know anything about you. Like they don't know the first thing about me. So who are these people going to make judgments about me on a 5-second video? And that's something I have to remind myself because as my what the L gains more traction, like cool, but that is making me at the hands of the internet, which is cool, but like also it's scary. Like that's so scary. This is a whole platform that I've never like dappled in and I was always going to be like, okay, I'm not going to do this until I'm moved away, until I'm out of my hometown, until I'm done with college so at least I don't have like if this whole thing flops, like at least I don't have to show my face anymore. But like the thing is like I don't care if it flops. It's not even about if this flops. This is more important than that because this is creating something for myself that I'm proud of and it doesn't matter who watches it. And I think the most important opinion that you can have is the one that you have of yourself. So, what is your opinion of yourself? And how can you learn or how can you adjust your opinion if it isn't good? Like, for the longest time, I'm still working on making my opinion better of myself. I was trying to match up the opinions that other people had of me with the version that I had in my head, but somehow it just kept misaligning and I think my the issue where I went wrong with that was even letting other people's opinions be part of who I should be. Like that's where you get wrong. Like even your parents. Yes, your parents should. This is also mom and dad, love y'all. Love y'all. Love y'all dearly. But skip past this part, okay? Actually, no, stay here. This is something else that we need to talk about. The opinions of your parents. I've idolized my parents for the longest time. I love my parents dearly. And for some reason, I always have felt like if I ever made my parents disappointed me, like they're not gonna love me. They're gonna be so like I'm just like I'm unlovable. And I felt like I had to please them always. So whenever my parents' opinions of me was disappointed in me or just something that was like whenever they were just upset with me, I always like it always makes me feel like I am not enough as a daughter. And that's not the case. I know they love me, but I that's how much I let opinions of other people affect me. And that's something that you should not do. So I'm trying to reframe my brain into realizing that my parents are just people. It's their first time at life too. Like they are just humans and they're going through life just like me and they love me and I need to trust that their opinion is that they're it's coming from a place of love. Like they love me and I know that. But sometimes like, our parents can be a little bit overbearing and protective, like at least mine are, but and I tend to get upset with them, but I mean, I know that they have the best intentions for me, but sometimes it's annoying. Like I love y'all, but sometimes y'all just really aggravate me. But I mean, like I said, our parents are just people and that's where I would get m- that's where I would get the things misconstrued with them because I would allow my parents' opinions to make or break me, honestly. Like if I didn't feel like I was pleasing my parents, I felt like I was a failure. And it's because my parents don't put pressure on me to be this big like icon. They are just proud of me for being their daughter and like they just love me and they have unconditional love for me. And I know that at the end of the day, but the fact that they're not like, "Elle, you need to make all A's. You need to do this." Like other people's parents I've seen do their whole lives. I think that just like kind of ignited some fire underneath my ass and made me feel like I have to succeed and if I don't, I'm going to be a failure. I don't know what made that happen in my head. I don't know what kind of therapist can undo all of that rewiring in my psychological brain, but that's where I'm at with that. Alas, the opinions of others. How do you stop caring? One day I think you just kind of it kind of just clicks in your head. I feel like one day it clicked in my head like why do I care about what these people think about me? Like who are these people to me? Who are these people to me? Like why does their opinion matter? And the question that I would be left with is like does their opinion matter? Like why do I care so much about their opinion? Is the real question. Why did I care so much about all these internet trolls and it's because I wanted them to like me. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to be seen. I obviously feel some need to be seen if I have a podcast. Okay. So that says something about me, number one. Like, I obviously have some desire to be seen by others. And I don't know, that's probably something from my childhood trauma. I don't know. Something that happened in my childhood that makes me feel like that. I don't know. But I think I always have felt this desire to be seen by others and I want to make everyone happy before myself. But like why? Why do I want to make everyone else happy before myself? And that's something that if you struggle with in your life, like if you're a people pleaser like me, it's important to remember that sometimes it's okay to take time for yourselves and it's also so important to check in with yourself every now and then and see what your opinion of yourself is and also like are you caring too much about other people's opinions because sometimes I feel like I'm like oof I don't want to post this because I don't know what people are going to think and then I catch myself thinking about that and I'm like oh my gosh what am I doing and like even my boyfriend like he'll catch me like all I will be upset. I'll text him or I'll call him and be like, oh my gosh, these people are calling me freaking balloony again on the internet. Like they're saying my face is round or they're saying some dumb shit that's not true. I mean, my face is round, but I mean, that's not bad. Like my face is round, okay? Whatever. My face is freaking round, internet trolls. You see it? Round face. But we embrace that. I would let all of these random people on the internet like their opinions of me make me sad like I've built up my opinion of myself to be so strong and once my what the Elle account on Instagram started getting a little bit of following and like going viral in videos I was like oh my gosh all of these people are tearing me down some of these guys on my videos would literally be like oh my gosh this girl is just eating everything in sight. Like what? Sorry. Okay. Like there's no need to say that. You're so like what? Okay. So then that already made me feel like terrible about myself because I was on my period whenever I read that and I was like feeling like a beached whale. So I'm like thank you for that soccer dad 2059 like thank you so much and so then I just like went through a downward spiral where I was like oh my gosh everyone hates me I'm an embarrassment to my family nothing's going good for me. Like, no, this is not, I'm done. I'm never posting on What the Elle again. Like, I'm not doing that. And I would call my boyfriend and be like, "Oh my gosh, these people are being so mean." And he'd be like, "Do these people's opinions of you matter?" And I'm like, "No, they don't matter, but they still hurt." And that's where it like that's what's hard because other people's opinions don't matter, but it still hurts whenever they hurt you. And sometimes like you just have to know that you have to build your opinion of yourself to be so strong that other people's opinions of you won't change, won't even budge whenever somebody says something about you. Like you'll laugh at what they say about you because you're like that's so far from the truth, but I don't feel the need to even explain myself because that's how far away from the truth you are. And I think that's my goal. And I think coming up, getting a little bit more traction on social media for me has been a little bit more difficult than I thought because I didn't realize that I was going to be putting myself at the hands of other people. But however, I am. And that was something new to me that scared me. But I think that can go so many ways. It can be good. Like I've also like met so many awesome people by doing What the L, and I'm very grateful for that. But it doesn't mean it's not difficult whenever you see things about you on the internet that are not true and you're just like, "Bro, what are these people saying about me? Like they don't even know me." And it's hurtful, but at the end of the day, like I've built my opinion of myself, like I've built myself up so much more than what these people are saying about me. And I'm not going to let what these people say about me, them calling me fat or ugly or calling me a 2 out of 10, whatever they want to say, like they don't know me and it doesn't matter. Like I don't care, and it hurts sometimes, but like you have to be strong enough to build like that exterior, and like also you have to realize whose opinions of you actually matter. Like what the opinions of my friends matter, the opinions of myself matters, like my own opinion of myself matters, my family's opinion of me matters to an extent. Like of course all of these people's my boyfriend's opinion matters to me. Like those are the people ultimately at the end of the day that their opinion matters to me. So like why do why do I need to have all of the whole world approve of me? And I think that's something that comes with growing up. Like not everyone's going to like you, and that was something that was hard for me to realize because I just want everyone to like me. But that's not always the case. Not everyone's going to like a little girl on the internet, you know? Like it's fine. And I think that's where I am at right now. I am still learning. I am still figuring out navigating as my podcast grows, or if it does flop, who knows? We'll see. But to be told, and if it does flop, I mean, who okay, then this is something that is leading me to somewhere else. Like this is the start of something that is leading me to the next step of where I'm supposed to go. And that's what I see this podcast as. I see it as a stepping stone. I see it as a community. I see it as like therapy to me because it is kind of therapy. Like I literally just sit here once a week and talk about whatever I feel like I need to talk about. And one week it could be conspiracy theories, one week it could be something about mental health, one week it could be about the color pink. I don't know. It could be anything because that's the theme of the show. What the L? It could be anything that what I want to talk about. But I think most importantly, check in with yourself and ask yourself, is your opinion of yourself good? Like if somebody came up to you and said something mean to you, how would you take it? Okay. I would probably cry because whenever people raise their voice or say anything mean to me, I'm very sensitive and I don't like it. I kind of shut down. I need to work on that because whenever I shut down, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know why I get this way. I think it's just like whenever there's authority, I just like kind of shut down, and I need to not be like that because whenever I'm like in a situation and somebody's yelling at me or something and it's not nobody should ever be yelling at me. Like it's not justified. I should be able to stand up for myself, and that's another thing. So, yeah, I think that's all I really have to say about opinions. I think you shouldn't care about other people's opinions, but I mean, I'm trying to not care about other people's opinions, and those are my little tips on how to try to not let them affect you as much. Yeah, not foolproof because I'm still working through this and like moving through this as we speak, but I think everything like the only opinion really that really matters is like God's opinion of you and your own opinion of yourself. And ultimately everyone else's opinion, like, whatever. You're just a grain, like, you're just like literally a speck of sand on the earth. Like, you are so small, you are so finite. There's so much going on. Like, don't let what somebody says, like, it's not the end of the world, okay? It's not the end of the world that somebody called me fat, okay? Because I know I'm not. And even if I was, who cares? Whatever. And it's not the end of the world that somebody called my face round. And like, that's not the end of the world. Like, there's bigger things going on in the world, and there's more important things to think about, like what kind of person you are. Like, what are you? A good person? Do you give? Do you give to those who need? Do you spend time with your friends and family? Like, there's so much more to a person than the physical. Yeah. So that's all I have to say about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow my YouTube channel. New episodes out every Friday. And with that, I will see you guys later. Love you. Bye.